humanism. The moral aspect of the question of humanism, which you can associate with human rights, solidarity, compassion, etc. There are nuances which are not unimportant. So Althusser found himself trapped, in a sense, in this dispute because he was hit in the back by the accusation. We know only too well why you are against humanism. That's because you defend brutal policies, dictatorial regimes, inhuman concepts of politics, whereas the question which is on the order of the day are the human rights. So he struggled to explain that the theoretical anti-humanism he had been talking about was not, of course, a practical anti-humanism. I remember a very funny moment when a Spanish friend, I had been invited to the Congreso Nacional de Filosofía de México in Monterrey, and the Marxists there, they were divided into two camps, analyticals and Marxists, but each camp was again divided into two opposite fractions. So the analytics invited two completely antithetic people, one an old man from the Vienna Circle, wonderfully, and a brutal cognitivist from Stanford, and the Marxists, of course, were divided into anti-humanists and humanists. So they invited Carlos Paris, who was a very interesting humanist Marxist, and at some point he said to me, "But you anti-humanists are very good people, after all." So that was the question, and I think that Foucault here provides interesting insights, because he was caught, in a sense, in the same controversy. And I recently taught a class here in the French department about debates on policy and human rights in France that everybody knows in the early 80s. Is there a politics of human rights? And as you know, as you remember, you know that better than anybody here, Foucault said, my point of view is not so much une politique des droits de l'homme than une politique des gouvernés. Politics. So he proposed a shift, which I believe is. But the essential fact is not there. The essential fact is, if we return to theoretical anti-humanism, is that Althusser repeatedly explained, that was never a mystery, that from his point of view, the kernel of the dominant ideology was not humanism alone. It was humanism plus economicism. And so I would very much agree with you that perhaps neoliberalism has the visibility or invisibility of each side is shifting and commuting all the time. So I don't think that an Althusserian, even a traditional Althusserian, would make difficulty in admitting that the essential problem today is economicism more than humanism. But the next question would be, where is some sort of humanism more than ever insisting or hiding or latent, even in the most economicist, utilitarian discourse? And Yahya Madra, a wonderful young colleague who is an economist and a psychoanalyst, but first of all an economist, who belongs, broadly speaking, to the Althusserian school from UMass that publishes Rethinking Marxism, has produced a very interesting book 2 years ago, I believe, whose title I don't remember completely, but it's something like The Return of Humanism into Contemporary Economic Theory. And it's a critique, of course, of the all market, the different, etc. So that's